Hey guys, how the hell are you? And welcome back to Mini Bottle Monday here on Arnold Drinks. My name is Arnold, and tonight I drink. So tonight on Mini Bottle Monday, I am having Four Roses Small Batch. Now this is something that I am already a little bit familiar with, but it's always nice to kind of take a look and see what is available in those little 50 milliliter airplane bottles for sampling purposes. And it's also nice to kind of take a step back and be like, okay, is there really any difference? You would think there wouldn't be, but is there really any difference between something that comes in a much larger bottle versus something that comes in a teeny tiny bottle? Some people say there is, some people say there's a difference between glass and plastic, this one being another glass bottle. But, you know, a lot of it's conjecture, a lot of it is just people wanting any excuse to say, no, that's different. But whatever, let's take a look. Let's see what we are working with here with the Four Roses Small Batch. It is a 45% alcohol by volume bourbon. It is crafted from a small batch consisting of, if I remember right, 4 different bourbon recipes, mash bills, yeast strains, whatever that they've got going on. They've got some crazy stuff going on over at Four Roses, and for that reason, they're definitely a very, very popular brand. They're definitely one of my favorite brands as far as consistency and as far as crafting something that's interesting from bottle to bottle. Let's see if this is any different. See, right from the word go, I do get just that hint of ethanol, just a little kiss of ethanol, but underneath that is going to be like a ton of cedar wood notes. It's not oak, it's definitely something more cedary, especially this being that I live here in Central Texas where there's a ton of cedar. I kind of know this smell. Stone fruit in there, a little bit of cherries. More of the cherries than the stone fruit, honestly. A little bit of caramel in there. It's funny too because I'll be honest, most of the time when I say I'm smelling a caramel note in the various bourbons that I'm trying, it's something where that smell is a lot more underlined, but here it's a lot more obvious that it is a caramel note. Let's go in for a sip. So that cedar wood is lending itself to a grainy texture to it. There's definitely a bit of woodiness to it. There's a bit of that cherry right at the forefront, a little bit of baking spice too. Let's go in for another sip. Yeah, cherry, a little bit of stone fruit action going on there from kind of all across the gamut, a little bit of cantaloupe and maybe like honeydew in there. Come to think of it, a little bit of wildflower honey as well. Nice kind of honey-coated cherry, baking spice, almost like a cherry strudel kind of thing going on, but not super heavy on the fried dough aspect of it. Just a little bit of like a baking cinnamon thing in there as well. It is a bit floral, I should note that. It's something that doesn't really come across too much in the aroma. I mean, maybe a little bit of that ethanol aspect. Yeah, I get more of a floral character from the flavor profile than I do from the aroma, which is not unlike anything that I've had from Four Roses in the past either. I have had some other Four Roses stuff that has had that sort of floral note in there too. So this is just something that's kind of right in line with what to expect from Four Roses. So this is just kind of a really nice product all around. So it's one of those things where if you can find a 50 milliliter and you've never tried this before, I definitely recommend picking it up. It's nice to see that there is definitely some consistency there in terms of the overall flavor profile, the aromas, the overall experience. This is definitely a bourbon that I really, really like because of how interesting it is, because of how much fruity character it has to it. it's something where, you know, as someone that myself kind of converted from like a lot of the more smoother, more fruit-like scotches that are out there, I kind of feel like this is a really awesome gateway bourbon for people that are mostly used to like Speyside and Highland scotches that don't necessarily have that huge earthy character, have a lot of more fruit character to it. I think this is a great sort of jumping off point for them. Anything by Four Roses, but certainly this small batch is no exception. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel, lots more of this content to come, and as always remember, take what you do seriously, do not take yourselves too seriously.